Assalamualaikum and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be talking about how my husband and I chose the best Hajj package for us depending on our needs and our requirements. But first things first, it is absolutely essential to book your Hajj package as soon as possible in the year that you decide that you want to go. So just to give you a point of reference, we booked our package way back in April, even though Hajj is in September, inshallah. And despite being early, we were still late. Most of the economical packages were gone, and we had to make a choice with what was left over. So that can give you an idea of how quickly these things go. So definitely plan early and book early as soon as possible. Now, back to the kinds of things that we looked at when we were doing our decision making process for what Hajj package to go with. So what we did was we just created a nice Excel table for us to enter all the information and give us a clear high-level picture of what each package entailed. And this made our lives pretty easy because it showed us exactly the kinds of things each package had and made it very clear the kinds of things that we wanted in our package and the kinds of things that we wanted to avoid. So really it was a very simple table. You can make it on a piece of paper or you can do it like us. We did it on Excel, whatever is comfortable for you. But I'll show you a picture and you can see the kinds of things that we had on our table. So as you can see over here, we had the name of the organization, the name of each Hajj package that they offered, the number of days each Hajj package was, how many number of days working that we would have to take off, and which was very important for my husband and I because we both work. And we definitely looked at how much each package cost, of course. We also took into consideration the currency difference because most of the Hajj packages were shown in US dollars cost, and since we live in Canada, we had to make sure that we were showing ourselves the truest picture of how much each Hajj package cost. So definitely it helped us a lot to have all of this information in front of us in a nicely laid out way, and we were able to scratch out any packages that we weren't happy with for one reason or the other. What also helped was calling up these different agencies and talking about all these different packages with them. I have to admit that there were a few agencies that we weren't able to get in touch with, and not for lack of trying. We tried them multiple times, but we weren't able to get in touch with them for whatever reason. So definitely that helped us narrow down our search considerably. And then with whomever was responding, we spoke to them over the phone and we asked them all our questions, anything we had in mind, and it really helped us to make our decision in a much more informed way, definitely, for sure. Now, the biggest thing that we battled with personally, aside from the cost of the Hajj, which is definitely the biggest consideration of all, the second biggest thing for us was the question of occupancy and how many people there are in one room. Now, the general rule is the more people there are in one room, the cheaper the package is. So the most they go up to is 4 people in one room. And what they do in this case is they put all the women in one room and all the men in one room. And with our agency in particular, what they try to do is that they try to put homogenous groups together. So the example that they gave was they tried to put Pakistanis with Pakistanis, Iranis with Iranis, Arabs with Arabs, etc. in the idea that people with similar backgrounds might have an easier time getting along with each other. But definitely everybody has a different comfort level with these kinds of things. We were pretty intimidated, frankly, and we were a little concerned about not being together. But we spoke to the agency rep and he assured us that we would essentially be spending the most of our time together anyway, because we would be going for prayers together, we would be having our meals together, we would essentially be together most of the times, and the only time we would not be together is when we would be going to sleep in our rooms. So he told us about that, but definitely we didn't just take his word for it. We also went ahead and spoke to a few of our friends who have done Hajj very recently, and we asked for their opinion on this, and they were very honest with us, and they told us, that no matter what we do, at the end of the day, we will be absolutely spending a lot of time with strangers. So in a long and short of it, they said that it wasn't worth it to pay the extra cost to get the double occupancy versus the quadruple occupancy. So for us, we kind of went with it, and that's the decision we made, and now we will have to stick with it no matter how anxious we feel about it. But I'm sure it's going to be fine, and I'm positive that once it's actually there and happening, we will probably not even think twice about what we did and why we did it. But definitely keep that in mind, and it's an important consideration to make sure that you are surrounded by people that you can be comfortable with. And it's not to say that you wouldn't be comfortable with strangers in your room. You might just end up becoming best friends, and be a source of support and resources for each other during the days of Hajj. But again, that's a decision that needs to be made with a very open mind. Other than that, let me see what other things I've thought about. Um, yeah, was the process, yes. So once we figured out what exactly package that we wanted to go with, the process was pretty straightforward. We had to submit a couple of very basic forms asking very basic information like name and address and gender, ethnicity, religion, etc. For women, they ask for the name of your mahram, of course. And for me, because I didn't change my name after I got married, I had to also submit a copy of my marriage certificate so that it was proof of my relationship with my husband. We also had to submit copies of our meningitis vaccinations because that is a compulsory item that the Saudi government requires for all Canadians if they're going for Hajj. And we also had to submit copies of our passports. We made a deposit for the agency, and that was really it. That was it. Our booking was done, and then we almost just kind of forgot about it after that. And then after Ramadan ended, that's when we got back in touch with our agency, and they asked us to send in our passports at that time. And so we did that. And very recently, so it is mid-August right now, we received our passports back, and alhamdulillah, we have our Hajj visas. So we're very excited, and we're looking forward to this exciting journey, and a little anxious at the same time. But that was it for the kinds of things that we looked at when we were deciding our Hajj package. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below, and I will see you in my next video. Assalamu alaikum, and thank you for watching.